Today, we're going to really dig into the opening of A Scout's Honor and figure out what makes it tick. We're going to explore how the author crafts this opening to hook you from the very first page, making it feel less like a typical war story and more like a prestige historical drama, one packed with incredible research and a really powerful emotional heart.
Right off the bat, we're dropped into a very specific time and place. Thursday, May 6th, 1943, in Billerica, Massachusetts. And you immediately get this feeling that the war in Europe, it isn't just some headline far away. Nope, it's this low hum under the surface of everyday life. And you just know that hum is about to become a roar.
So how does the author build this world so effectively? Well, we're going to look at 4 key narrative hooks that do all the heavy lifting. The Wizard of the Airwaves, the unspoken neighborhood rule, a desperate kid's fantasy, and we'll finish with the sound of a world apart.
Okay, let's dive right into this first one. This is where the story immediately signals to you, the reader, that this is going to be more than just a history lesson. It's shaping up to be a high-stakes tech thriller, but it's all seen through the eyes of a kid.
This is how our young protagonist Leo sees his father. See, his dad isn't just a staff sergeant in the Army Air Corps, he is a straight-up magician. This simple phrase just completely transforms a super technical military job into something mythic, something a kid can actually understand and be totally in awe of.
But here's what's so cool. Behind the magic, there's real, hardcore history. Leo's father works with the ASV Mark III radar, and this was the real deal, folks. Cutting-edge, prototype technology from MIT that was an absolute game-changer for the war effort. The author grounds the story in this incredible research, which makes the father's job feel both magical to Leo and critically important in the real world.
And this line, this is how you translate something as complex as radar to a kid. Leo doesn't need to know about radio waves or circuitry. All he needs is this powerful, simple image. His dad's work lets pilots see through fog so thick you couldn't see your own hand in front of your face. It's just a perfect bridge between the technical and the emotional.
So you see what's happening here? It's this fusion. You're blending the real, heavily researched technology of wartime radar with the pure magic of a child's imagination. And by doing that, the whole narrative gets elevated. The stakes aren't just about winning battles anymore. They're about the technology that makes winning possible.
All right, so we have the global high-tech stakes, but how do you make a conflict that massive feel personal? Well, that's where this next hook comes in. The author builds this incredibly tight-knit world to make a global war feel devastatingly local.
So, welcome to the Hill. And let me tell you, this is not just any neighborhood. It's a place with basically no fences, where everyone's yard just bleeds into the next. It's a place where you hear laughter bouncing between the houses, and a kid's signature call, "Ayo, Leo," just echoes through the streets. The whole block is basically one giant shared backyard.
And this right here, this is the heart of it all. This is the unspoken rule that governs life on the Hill. It's this powerful idea of collective identity, of shared responsibility. These kids aren't just neighbors. They belong to everyone. They're a communal treasure. And by setting up this deep, fundamental bond, the author just sends the emotional stakes through the roof. It means that any loss, any threat, any piece of bad news from overseas isn't going to hit just one family. No, it's going to send a shockwave through the entire community. The war isn't happening to an individual, it's happening to all of them.
Okay, now we get to the climax of the chapter. This is the moment where that abstract threat of war, that low hum in the background, suddenly comes crashing into the world of these boys with absolutely devastating force.
It all starts with these hesitant words from Leo's friend, Wayne. The sentence just hangs there in the air, and it's full of this weird mix of pride and pure dread. You can just feel the weight of what's about to be said.
And there it is. The war is suddenly no longer a map on a classroom wall or a voice on the radio. It's Harris, Wayne's older brother, a kid they all know. The massive global conflict now has a familiar face.
This line is just perfect. It completely captures that grand, almost mythical allure of the war for a young guy like Harris. It's not just about duty, it's about wanting to be part of something legendary, something truly epic in the sky.
This is such a powerful moment, because faced with this absolutely terrifying news, what do these boys do? They retreat. They create what the book calls an outlandish fantasy. They imagine Harris, the brand new pilot, somehow miraculously crossing paths with Leo's father, the radar wizard. It's how they cope. It's how they take this enormous, abstract monster of a war and make it feel smaller, more contained, almost manageable.
And finally, let's look at the brilliant sensory detail the author uses to close out the chapter. Trust me,
It's not just background noise, it's this powerful symbol that perfectly ties all these emotional threads together.
All through the town, there's this constant low rumble of freight trains from the Boston and Maine Railroad. It's like the town's heartbeat, a sound so constant you could almost ignore it. But in this moment, it becomes something more. It becomes a symbol of an unstoppable, relentless world just moving forward.
So what is this sound really? It's the sound of the war machine itself. It's the sound of supplies rolling toward the coast, heading for ships and soldiers. It's the sound of the very tracks that are going to pull loved ones like Harris further and further away from home. It's the sound of their small, quiet town being stitched into the vast, unforgiving fabric of a world at war.
And this just brilliantly nails the central theme of the chapter. That relentless motion is the same force that already took Leo's father, and it's the same force that's about to take Wayne's brother. It is, quite literally, the sound of their world being pulled apart piece by piece.
So when you put it all together, the high-tech magic, the deep community bonds, the personal shock of enlistment, and that final haunting sound of the train, you get an opening that is just incredibly powerful. And it leaves us with this question, right? How do the biggest, most epic events in history find their truest, most heartbreaking voice? Not in some grand speech, but in the smallest of details, the quietest of fantasies, and the most familiar of sounds.